Hi Pisces, and welcome to your love reading of May 2020. So for this reading, I'm going to be using the Witch's Tarot and the Psychic Tarot Oracle cards, but I won't take out these cards until the end of the reading. So I'll be using the Witch's Tarot. So I'm just going to shuffle these cards. Whoops, they already want to come out. So I'm just going to shuffle these cards, and on the left side is going to be the divine feminine energies, and on the right side is going to be the divine masculine energies, okay? And then in the center is going to be the overall energy between the both of you, okay? So I'm just going to shuffle them, set the intention. Now remember, this is not gender specific, and it is just related to energies. So if you feel more connected to a certain energy, then that will be the message for you, okay? All right, so let's see what's in store for the Divine Feminines. All right, we have the Four of Swords. We have the Eight of Swords. We have the Three of Pentacles. Now for the Divine Masculines, we have the Four of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups. So that's great. So that's romance right there. We have Karma, and the overall energy, we have the Chariot. Okay, so let's take a look. Now we start off for the Divine Feminines with the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords suggests that at this moment the Divine Feminines are really stepping back at this time in regards to the relationship. They may be a little bit drained with the situation, a little bit exhausted, perhaps have going through a lot of emotional situations, a lot of purging, a lot of mental exhaustions, basically. So she's just stepping back a bit and really contemplating on the situation, mostly kind of recharging her battery, I feel, in order to be able to progress on the situation. So she does look like she's been through a lot, and she's just stepping back a bit at this time. So the feminines are really kind of just really trying to recharge themselves and recharge their energies for whatever reason, whatever they are going through. Could be because the masculines are kind of stepping back a bit. So well, in this situation, looks like both of them are stepping back, because he has the Four of Pentacles, and that's suggesting that at this time he's not really giving that much to the Divine Feminines. He's just a little he's stepping back as well. He's not really giving much of his emotions. He's just focused on what he already has, kind of just being secure in what he has already, secure financially, materialistically, just focusing on things that's not related to emotions, basically, and that's probably draining her, and she's kind of giving up at this time. Perhaps she wants to step back a bit because of his unwillingness to give as much. So she's kind of perhaps tired giving as much to the masculines at this time. Masculines are still holding back, right? And so that is leaving the feminines to want to just step back and recharge herself and focus on herself at this time. In her heart space, she has the Eight of Swords, so she is a little bit confused at the moment. She doesn't know much what to say at this time. There could be a lot of mental thinking, because she does have a lot of swords here and here. So she could be too focused up in her head at this time. Air element, too much thoughts at this moment. That could be trapping her, perhaps in fear, perhaps in moving forward with a relationship, or moving forward in things that she wants to progress in. So she's feeling a little bit trapped at this time, where she is and what she wants to do, because of a fear, because of a lot of negative mental thinking patterns that could be perhaps trapping her and not mobilizing her at this time. So that's also kind of draining her energy at this time, and making her a little bit more exhausted than usual at this time, right? So in the Divine Masculine's energy, in his heart space, we have the Knight of Cups. So this is interesting. Even though the Divine Masculine are holding back in giving, there is a lot of love and connection he has for his Divine Feminine. There's a lot of romance here and chemistry. So he may not be showing it physically to her, but inside of him, he's daydreaming, he's fantasizing, and there's just lots of love and and chemistry that he feels with his divine feminine. So even though he's not really showing it at this time, he is kind of holding back, kind of suppressing his heart chakra to show itself, almost not wanting it to burst out, and kind of containing it within himself. He can't help himself but to fantasize about it and to feel this connection with her and in this romance. So there is definitely love here for her. So that's good to know as well. So for the divine feminines, we have the Three of Pentacles here. So this is how she views him, and she does view him as somebody who works hard, who is always busy in their skills and their projects, perhaps working late at night in their skills and in which whatever they're working towards. It could be her also trying to focus on certain things late at night, building her pentacles, building her business, trying to perfect a skill perhaps, right? This could be her just focusing on something, seeing that she's very stuck in her mental state of mind right now. She's feeling a little bit trapped, but I guess she's using all this air energy to you know, bring down these ideas and these creative things that are just, you know, I feel like she's constantly brainstorming at this time. So she's probably writing down all her ideas, right? Her mind is overly active. That's what I feel for the divine feminine. So because the mind can be overly active, it can have some downfalls as well. It can keep you stuck in fear because of the overactivity of your thoughts, not balancing it out. It could be also certain emotional confronting demons, emotional purges that could be also making her kind of unstable at this time. So I feel that she's a little bit mentally unstable at this time because of her emotions, because of certain things that she's purging out, certain things that she's dealing with, maybe confronting certain inner demons at this time. So she's using all that energy to direct it on personal projects perhaps, or perfecting something, or studying something perhaps, right? This is when when we are too much in our headspace, we use that to the advantage of using it to study, to learn, to expand your knowledge, I feel. So she's expanding herself and her knowledge as well, right? So for the masculines, we have karma. So this is the judgment card. So what I feel like in regards to the masculine is that he does feel like a level of hope with the relationship, that things have progressed again, that things are moving forward in the relationship. If things have died down, because it looks like with both of them not giving, you know, in the relationship, kind of withdrawing, and then him just containing it within himself and not projecting out towards her, I think that kind of dies down the relationship. So it could be there could be a level of resurrection afterwards, after that phase is over. He could feel that things are progressing again, okay? Maybe because she's trying to maybe get to know him more, or study how she should progress, instead of being trapped in fear and being frozen and moving forward with the relationship. So this could be quite helpful for the masculine, and he could really feel that the relationship is progressing again. So that's what I feel. So it's a little bit in and out. There is a certain level of confusion a bit, but once you put in your part, you know, to help out in the relationship, things can start to progress again. And there is a level of love here, deep love, that the masculines feel for the feminines. So that's a good way to progress in the relationship as well. The overall message here is the Chariot. So the Chariot is suggesting that you both are going through certain things, challenging times, confronting emotional situations, which is perhaps why he's also pulling back, the divine masculines, right? And that could really bring down the relationship. But if you both put in the work, if you both put in the effort, if you study, if she studies, if you make sure the relationship doesn't die over, then it can keep progressing. So you both have to just put in the work, right? And not be engulfed in fear and too much thoughts, right? All right, so let's see what the Psychic Tarot has to say for the both of you. So let's shuffle these cards a bit. Okay, we have patience and planning. Ah, okay. I connect that a lot with the Three of Pentacles because Three of Pentacles is a card of planning. And we have accelerated motion. So let's start with patience and planning. So I feel like feminines are really trying to, understand what the divine masculine is going through. Kind of understanding him in a deep level and understanding why he may not be giving as much to the relationship. Kind of seeing his point of view, I feel. And so I think she's a little bit patient with him. She kind of understands what's happening internally in regards to him, facing his inner demons. Perhaps she's aware of what could be the certain challenges that he's going through, right? And at the same time, she's going through challenges as well. So she's stepping back at the same time. So she's just using this time to be patient and being productive, I feel, with this energy. Seeing that she can't push forward. All she can do is just be patient. But at the same time, she can plan. She can plan for the future. And that's why I see her very studious at this time, late at night, trying to study things and plan things and for her life. Or with the masculines, just trying to see the overall picture of the situation. So she is just being patient at this time and allowing things to slowly grow within time, and still invest in the relationship, but just know that it takes time, right? It takes time to open up a person. It takes time for anything to develop and grow, So I think she's understanding this kind of wisdom within her and just stepping back a bit and using this time to just recharge herself at this time and to expand her knowledge. Okay, for the divine masculines, I see accelerated motion. So things are moving quite quickly for him. Things are, I think he's very hopeful that things are progressing, I think, with the relationship. It's interesting because even though he's pulling back and not giving as much, he's very, very involved with the divine feminine. He's very involved emotionally and very involved and very invested emotionally with the divine feminines. So there is a level of strong investment. So he's just not wanting to give his part. That's all. So I do feel like kind of arrows of love hitting him at this time, which explains the Knight of Cups here at this time. Right, so there is fast movement in regards to the relationship, in regards to his heart space. He feels that there is hope, that there's possibilities for the relationship to progress in a positive direction. Right, so his side is quite positive, and her side is more stepping back and just allowing things to be. So that's what I see with the relationship. Things are going to move quite quickly with the masculines in regards to a certain situation in his life as well. And whereas the feminine is going to really, really go within herself and tune in and expand herself at the same time. Okay? Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this love reading of May 2020. If you like this video, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, like the video, and leave a comment below. Okay? And I'll see you guys in my next video. Have a good one. Bye!